The moment Arvin stepped out of the hospital that bright morning, he felt a heaviness in his chest that he could not explain. The sun was rising over the parking lot, painting the sky with warm streaks of gold, yet his heart felt colder than it should. He had left his mother, Meira, resting in her ward just an hour earlier, convinced she was safe and cared for. But as he walked away, a strange instinct pulled at him, whispering that he needed to turn back. That something was not right. That someone he trusted, was making a mistake he had failed to see. Within minutes, driven by a surge of fear he could not justify, he rushed back through the sliding glass doors of St. Haven Medical Center, unaware that what he was about to witness would shatter him and change his life forever. If you believe in kindness, family, and second chances, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Good Soul. Your support means the world. Arvin moved down the quiet daytime corridor, sunlight slanting through the tall hospital windows and reflecting against the polished floor. Nurses passed by with soft steps, monitors beeped steadily in the distance, and the sterile scent of disinfectant lingered in the air. Nothing seemed out of place, yet the unease in his stomach only grew stronger. When he reached his mother's ward, he froze at the doorway. There, standing beside Meira's bed, was his wife, Karsha, adjusting medication on the small table. But the scene did not feel right. Meira looked uncomfortable, her breathing uneven, her hand trembling as if trying to reach for something. Arvin's eyes drifted to the medication labels, and his pulse slammed against his ribs. The dose was wrong. Not dangerously wrong to kill, but wrong enough to weaken, wrong enough to bring unnecessary harm, wrong enough to push an already fragile woman into deeper distress. And Karsha, the woman he trusted most, was the one preparing it. His mind raced through every moment of the past month. His mother's sudden weakness. Her unexplained episodes of dizziness. Those strange bouts of confusion. The doctor's puzzled expression when the tests came back normal, yet her condition kept wavering. And Karsha's overly sweet insistence that she was helping. He had believed her. He had defended her. He had brushed off his mother's soft concerns as the paranoia of old age. But now, as the sunlight poured over the hospital bed, as Meira's fragile frame curled slightly from discomfort, Arvin felt the crushing realization that he had been blind to something he should have seen. His emotions churned: confusion, betrayal, fear, guilt. Why would Karsha do this? Was it intentional? Was it ignorance? Was it resentment buried beneath an imitation of care? He stood in the doorway, unseen for a moment, watching as Karsha's hands shook more than they should have for someone who claimed confidence. And then it hit him, not malice, but pressure. She had been overwhelmed, trying to balance everything: work, home, the hospital, the stress of medical instructions she did not fully understand. She wanted to help, but somewhere along the way, she had begun to cut corners, rushing through things she should not rush through, taking responsibilities she wasn't trained for, and hiding her mistakes because she feared judgment. In trying to protect herself, she had been unknowingly endangering Meira. With his heart pounding, Arvin stepped inside and corrected the dosage quietly, carefully, ensuring his mother's safety first. The realization tore him apart. This wasn't a story of wickedness, but a story of silent collapse, where someone he loved had been too afraid to admit she was failing. As the afternoon light filtered through the curtains, Arvin made himself a promise: he would not allow fear, stress, or pride to break the people he cared for. He reached for his mother's hand, letting her rest comfortably, and then stood beside Karsha to face the truth that they both needed to address. The guilt weighed heavy on him. After all, he had placed responsibilities on her shoulders that he should have shouldered himself. His mother's care had become a burden shared unevenly, and the cracks were finally showing. Over the next days, Arvin reorganized everything. He spoke to the doctors, hired proper assistants, learned the procedures himself, and allowed Karsha the space to breathe, heal emotionally, and rebuild her confidence. Slowly, the tension lifted from their home. Slowly, Meira's health stabilized again. And slowly, the fractures created by fear and exhaustion began to mend. The brightest change came one calm afternoon as Meira smiled weakly at her son, sunlight falling on her face, telling him without words that she felt safe again, not just medically, but emotionally, surrounded by people who had learned to understand one another better. Life did not become perfect suddenly, but it became honest. And honesty brought healing. If this emotional journey touched your heart, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Good Soul. It helps more than you know. Before the story ends, please drop a heartfelt comment telling which moment moved you the most. In the end, Arvin realized that sometimes danger doesn't come from cruelty, it comes from silence, fear, and unspoken struggles. And the greatest healing happens when families learn to see each other with empathy, patience, and love under the bright, forgiving light of day.